Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Reagan Kayla.
And I'm Dawson Iasillo. The Board of Regents had a meeting today to decide on the merging of UNL and UNMC.
Reporter Dalen Muse joins us on set with more.
Commission approved the application of the joint accreditation for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. In the University of Nebraska Medical Center this afternoon, the Board of Regents in their special meeting unanimously passed the motion to indeed recognize and approve the consolidation of UNL and UNMC. The two campuses will now be considered one University of Nebraska, with UNL and UNMC as branches of one university. Some members of the UNL community object to the decision, including Faculty Senate President John Schrader.
Since 1869, this has been the flagship of the state's only public university. It's the home of the Huskers. It's the center of research and extension, teaching and innovation, student experience. It's been the shining light of this system, and now that light shines on the only branch campus in the Big Ten.
Many of the Board of Regents seemed ready to embrace the change, which is a step toward the UNL's journey to rejoin the Association of American Universities, which is a group of 71 top-tier research universities. UNL was removed from the AAU in 2011 due to its low mark of federally funded research. Nebraska is the only Big Ten university not in the AAU. UNL Chancellor Rodney Bennett, who recently received a vote of no confidence from the UNL Faculty Senate, says he embraces the opportunity to work with the other University of Nebraska colleagues.
We are committed to excellence, and we are committed to very difficult decisions, and we are committed to elevating public higher education in the state of Nebraska. So we embrace this new opportunity to work more closely with our colleagues at the Med Center.
Session today, but not to discuss the budget cuts proposal. That will be voted on in a few weeks on December 5th in a developing story. The Lincoln Journal-Star has reported Chancellor Bennett's Chief of Staff, Josh Davis, is resigning and is accepting a position at Penn State. Reagan and Dawson, back to you.
The weather is beginning to finally cool down some to chilly fall temperatures.
We'll turn to Jamison Nichols for more.
Man, it was a damp, dreary day today. Temperatures wanted to hit the 50-degree mark, but not quite. And if you were out there, you would have noticed sprinkles almost the entire day. Good news, though, this weekend is looking real great. 60 degrees on both Saturday and Sunday, a lot of sun. So when I say get out there and enjoy it, I mean get out there and enjoy it. Because next week is not looking too good in comparison. More on my full forecast in a bit. We're expecting more snow and a lot of precipitation as we move into next week. More on that in a bit.
As the holiday season approaches, food banks across Nebraska are gearing up to provide food to those in need. UNL's Husker Pantry provides free food and personal hygiene items to students enrolled at the university. Graduate Assistant Caitlin Richards explained how the pantry has seen needs change during this season of giving.
We see just like more orders coming in just to prepare for that holiday season. We also see more like green beans getting ordered and more stuffing and all those holiday essentials. Just knowing that everyone has some sort of contribution to help alleviate food insecurity and hygiene insecurity in our community, whether it's donating, whether it's spreading the word, whether it's just reaching out when a friend, they seem more tired because they're not getting as much nutrition, stuff like that.
For those wanting to support Husker Pantry, there are donation bins located in buildings across campus. For more information or to place an order, visit Husker Pantry's website at pantry.unl.edu.
AAA projects a record number of Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home over the Thanksgiving holiday period, and more people on the road means the possibility of more wrecks. The Thanksgiving holiday period is already one of the most dangerous travel periods of the year. In fact, the crash rate for the Sunday after Thanksgiving is 65% higher than the previous Sunday. That's according to data analyzed by the technology company Samsara. It's the busiest travel day of the year when millions of Americans head home and commercial trucks and delivery drivers return to the road. Early winter conditions such as ice, rain, and snow can also increase risk of crashes. Experts say drivers can reduce their risk by leaving earlier in the day, avoiding night travel, and keeping extra space around large trucks.
High grocery prices and tariffs could spoil your Thanksgiving menu this year. That's because the cost of some key holiday staples are up. These rising costs come as many people are already struggling to afford food. Jen Sullivan explains why your holiday meal will likely cost more this year.
Outside the King Center in Atlanta, long lines of cars as people wait for free food to be handed out at this Thanksgiving food drive.
This is going to make a tremendous difference.
Miss Williams works part-time, but she says it's not enough to put food on her table. And it's not just Thanksgiving she worries about.
It's every day. It's tonight. I need dinner for tonight.
Her story is like so many others as the cost of food continues to rise.
We've seen an increased need. We've seen seniors coming that need assistance. We've seen families.
The government shutdown put a strain on already busy food banks, with millions of food stamp recipients not receiving assistance through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, and hundreds of thousands of federal workers not getting paid. But rising food costs are making groceries more expensive for everyone.
But for many families, they're still struggling to put food on their table and keep that roof over their heads.
Average grocery prices are up nearly 3% from last September, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report. Prices for key Thanksgiving staples like potatoes, meats, fresh vegetables, and bakery products are all up. And tariffs have caused the price of many imported items like wine to jump. One wine store says prices are 5 to 12% higher this year. There is some good news. On Friday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that retroactively lowered tariffs on beef, tomatoes, coffee, and bananas, as well as other products coming from agricultural imports. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The Omaha Police Department is taking to the skies and implementing drones to help police save time. But the expansion is raising questions about privacy. WOWT has the story.
The Omaha Police Department's 7 new drones, located across the eastern part of Omaha, will now respond to certain 911 calls with officers. Chief Todd Schmaderer explained their quick response time can help police save time and resources.
If a 911 call takes place, it will initiate, it'll start going to the call. If the drone operator gets there and can see that, let's say there was a report of a traffic accident in a certain intersection. Let's say when the drone gets there, it's not there. Cars drove off. We'll cancel the officers and it'll save them from having to respond to that call.
But with a rise in drone use in police departments, members of the ACLU say there are concerns about your privacy, especially when they say it comes to the ability to use drones for video surveillance.
I think that, most Americans may leave space for reasonable law enforcement drone operations for specific purposes, but really don't want to see it turn into something much broader. And so I think that it's important for the community through its elected representatives to really think about this, think it through, and exactly what kind of limits the community wants to put on it.
We asked OPD about privacy concerns. Chief Todd Schmaderer assured us the drones will only be used for 911 calls.
I'll say this, all the video is securely recorded and stored according to our policies. There's going to be no general surveillance. You won't see these drones doing any general surveillance, and there will not be any random neighborhood flights.
The drones are being flown by helicopter pilots. OPD also says they have fewer restrictions from the FFA that will allow them to fly further and higher.
It certainly is a force multiplier. It certainly augments our staff. Even though we had full deployment, we would proceed with this program because it's state-of-the-art technology that can make our community better.
OPD plans to quickly add to their number of drones, with plans to add 2 more in the upcoming year. In Omaha, I'm Sydney Babb, First Alert 6.
Coming up after the break.
A glimpse into the cold weather rolling in this upcoming week and a look into ways you can help out this Christmas season. Stay with us.
I take back what I said. Hey, done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL. Daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. A sunny, warm weekend coming up. Snow and rain for Thanksgiving weekend. More on that in a second. And those temps will cool down as we move into next week. Now let's look at our radar. You can see a lot of precipitation down here into southern Nebraska. Luckily, that is pushing out of the area. Though we have one more hurdle we have to cross before we're in the clear. You can see this large patch along the I-80 corridor from Aurora toward Lincoln and up to Omaha. This will bring with it a couple more showers as we move into tonight. But the good news is, as we look toward the Dakotas, Minnesota, pretty much clear skies. And this will bring a lot of sun as we move into the weekend. Now today's overview. Clouds and a lot of rain were the trend. You can see those temperatures started off pretty close to the freezing point, warmed up a little bit, almost hitting 50, but not quite. Climax of 47 right at 2 p.m. The sun made no appearances. It was pretty dreary. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. As I've mentioned, a good weekend is coming up. 32 on Saturday, 62 Sunday, followed by some rain on Monday, and those temperatures will quickly cool down, moving from the 60s to the 50s, the 40s. I really want you to take a look at Thursday and Friday. Chance of snow Thursday, chance of snow and rain on Friday. Right in the middle of Thanksgiving, if you're going to be commuting, you need to really stay safe and emphasize safety. Let's look at our snow tracker really quick. Now, things are kind of up in the air of how much snow is going to fall and when it's going to fall. This model in particular is between the 26th and the 1st of December, but we're going to have snow. We're going to have a lot of snow. And so again, if you're traveling, if you're commuting for the holidays, make sure you stay safe. And with that, I produced a video on what you should pack in your car to ensure that you remain safe if the worst happens. The weather here in Lincoln isn't too pretty today, and it's going to get worse with winter right around the corner. With students traveling for Thanksgiving, it's important you carry several items in your car in case the worst comes to happen. First and foremost, you want to make sure your head and your ears stay warm. A nice winter hat is always a good idea to carry in your car no matter what. Next up is a snack of your choice. If you're stranded on the side of the road for several hours, your body needs fuel. Pack something, preferably with some protein or something else. Perhaps most importantly, you want to make sure that you always have a nice warm fuzzy blanket on you at all times. In case your heating or your AC doesn't work, you want to make sure your body is as warm as possible. And talking about warmth, nice fuzzy pair of socks. Your grandma probably gave you some for your birthday, or you're probably going to get some for Christmas. Grandmas know best. Keep a pair on you at all times. And last but not least, a good shovel. Now this one's a little bit big, but they sell smaller shovels, and if you need to dig yourself out, this is going to be your best friend. From Minnesota to Texas and everywhere in between, our UNL students are traveling everywhere this upcoming holiday season. Make sure you stay safe if the worst comes to happen. Jamison Nichols, Nebraska Nightly.
Every year, thousands of children around the United States need presents under their tree, and many participating Walmarts make that possible.
Through a partnership with the Salvation Army, over 50,000 families in the Lincoln area alone are getting presents put under their tree this year. Reporter Nora Fleming shows us how we can donate gifts for kids in need this holiday season.
Each year, Walmarts across the nation set up Christmas trees at the front of their store. However, instead of ornaments, the trees are decorated with angel tree tags. Angel trees are the result of the partnership between the Salvation Army and Walmart, and every Christmas they provide gifts for over 1 million kids.
Angel Tree exists so that takes that worry off that parent's mind. The community is super, super generous. There's a lot of people who want to step up and make Christmas merry and bright for kids in need. And so they are able to select that angel tag off the tree, shop for that child, and then we are going to kind of act almost as Santa Claus and help mom and dad get those gifts under the tree at Christmas time.
So come along with us as we choose a child to find the perfect present for. We decided on a 9-year-old boy who we're going to shop for.
Each tag represents one child who may not receive a gift for Christmas. We started by looking for clothes for our child and focusing on what they might need now, but what they could also grow into for the future.
We're going to settle on a hoodie with some nice lining. For this one, we're going to do a size large, so it'll hopefully last him a little longer and he can grow into it. And then choosing some socks, we found him this little 6 pair with sizes 3 to 9, so we're hoping that this is going to work for him all right. We also found this super cute space exploration shirt that we will be adding to the cart.
Overall, in clothing, we got our boy 2 shirts, a pair of sweatpants, a pair of socks, a jacket, a hoodie, a pair of hats and gloves, but our shopping didn't end there. We went on over to find him the perfect toy.
Keeping it up with the Spider-Man theme, we did find this, so it's getting added to the cart. To get the ever so famous Nerf gun, this was one of my favorites growing up with, so I'm gonna get it for him.
We also got him a deck of Uno cards and a blanket to keep him nice and warm for this cold winter. Once you've completed your shopping, you then take all your gifts to the checkout aisle, pay for them as you normally would. Once everything is paid for, you can drop the gifts off at a bin in the front next to the tree or bring them to your local Salvation Army, which is where we went to next.
I remember those Christmas mornings waking up and the joy my sister and I had at being able to open a gift and know that Santa came. And I don't want any kid to miss out on that. So that's personally to me why Angel Tree is so important. And if you asked any of the hundreds of parents who have registered their kids for Angel Tree this year, they would express nothing but gratitude knowing that even though times are tough for them, their kids are not going to have to suffer because of it.
The Angel Tree will be up until mid-December, when all the presents from participating Walmart stores will be picked up by the Salvation Army. Parents will then come and claim their gifts, wrapping them at home and giving their kid a magical Christmas. Nora Fleming, Nebraska Nightly.
After the break, we sit down with Babatunde Ogunlala to talk about his experience coming to UNL from Nigeria.
Stick with us.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Rachel Miller and I am joined by Babatunde Ogunlala, a graduate student at the College of Journalism and Mass Communications. Prior to his time at UNL, Babatunde worked as a media professional in Nigeria and West Africa, producing award-winning investigations and media content. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I was wondering for a minute who it was you were talking about right there. Thank you.
Yes. So my first question for you is, what made you want to come to UNL to pursue a higher degree of education?
All right, it's a little bit of a long story. I'm just going to cut it down. The truth is I'd worked back home in Nigeria for about 15 years as a broadcast journalist. Like most of my peers, you sort of rise through the ranks. I started off as a field reporter, and then I just rose through the ranks, took on more responsibility, and became head of content and programs. And I'd gotten to a level where I'd done quite a lot. I felt I'd done a lot, and it appeared that I had hit this glass ceiling, and I was like, where else is there to go? I have a background in English, a previous master's in peace and development, and I wanted to really consolidate this years of experience, you know, with the educational basis for the new world or for a new generation of audience that I was going to serve. How do you speak to a generation whose language you don't speak? And I'm talking about technology, I'm talking about latest innovations in journalism. It was just the right time. And so I did my research, and UNL looked really good, and I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah. How important would you say journalism and the media is in Nigeria for you guys?
Oh, very, very. It's not just a Nigerian thing globally, but the place of the journalist. We love to call ourselves truth tellers, you know, is to bring information in such a way and break it down in such a way that the audiences that we serve can take ownership of those stories and that information that we give to them as, you know, gatekeepers, and be able to like use it to implement and impact the change that they want to see. And with so many issues on the global stage, but locally, well, journalism is has got a great, remarkable relevance right now than ever before in the Nigerian context.
Yeah. I'm sure you've noticed quite a few differences between journalism that just like at least in school and from practice. What are some of those differences that you've noticed?
That's a great question. I think journalism everywhere is the same in terms of the aim and the intention and what it's meant to do, to speak truth to power and power to truth, and elevate underreported and underrepresented voices as well. This is some of the different uses and aims and goals of journalism. The differences, I'd say, from the climate I come from is perhaps, you know, in some areas technological. You know, in a place like the United States, you know, it's like the melting pot of issues. It's a great place to pick up those situations and, you know, see how they apply, where policies majorly affect the world, and being able to understand that and tell the story from that perspective is definitely a plus. The technological advancement as well, most of them AI, it starts off right here. So being in the middle here to understand and see those being used and implemented, you know, a transferable knowledge back home. In terms of the bravery and the courageous nature of the journalists who tell the story as well, I've seen that happen. And I would say this, I feel like, you know, where I come from, because we still have issues of freedom of information, there's the technical part and then there's in practice, you know, rights, you know, of the journalists being able to creatively express themselves. Those are still some of the challenges we have, that it's not like you don't have those challenges here as well, but it's perhaps more over there. Also in terms of media censorship, not directly, but more in terms of what you're allowed to say because of he who pays your bills. You know, you have organizations who, you know, owners sort of have affiliations to the government, so it sort of cramps and determines the stories you have to tell in some cases, and how you tell the stories in terms of funding, who's funding these media houses, as development stories being prioritized. You have major global issues like the United States Cotton Fund. Of course, there's the conversation to be had about, how entitled are you to other people's money or another country's money? But you also have to understand that, you know, with the organizations that focus on development, a lot of them are not, the government's not going to like fund an organization, an institution that will, you know, tell a contrary story to itself. And so these are the dynamics that sort of affect journalism back home and what you have over here as well.
Thank you so much for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. See you guys after the break. Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Rachel.
Welcome back and thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Jackson Ingolstadt. 3 words can describe this time of the year: sports, sports, and sports. In every realm, Husker sports are going full throttle. Last night, Husker volleyball had the opportunity to clinch the Big Ten title against their rival Iowa. Early first set action, Taylor land fair, it's not fair. Huskers breezed by in the first set 25-15. Let's keep it rolling. Second set, Andy Jackson monster kill in the second set. She hit over 500 on the day. Later in the second, Becca Alec makes the Terraflex feel the pain. Nebraska wins a tight set 25-21. In the third and final set match point and Big Ten title point, Andy Jackson's 10th and final kill of the night. Nebraska wins. And shocker, shocker, it's a sweep for Nebraska volleyball. Nebraska clinches share of the Big Ten title for the 3rd year in a row. From the Terraflex to the hardwood, Nebraska women's basketball took on Oral Roberts and PBA this week. Early game action, Brent Prince razzle-dazzle bucket 32-9. She had a game high and career high 30 points. Second quarter, Petrie putting in that Aussie work in the post. That is actually Kennedy Williams there. She powers through on the and one, gives them the lead. Now let's go back to Petrie. She puts in that Aussie post work, extends their lead to 24. Nebraska wins the game 103 to 58. They move on to being undefeated 5-0 on the season.
I thought we got pretty good contributions from up and down the board, but obviously everything was sparked by that career high from Britt Prince. She's really special.
Yeah, it's super cool. I think my teammates were just getting me the ball in the right places, trusting me. But I think overall it was just a great game for us to be able to go out there and play more of like 4 complete quarters. And I think we played with great pace today.
Switching over to men's basketball, they will be playing Kent State tonight. You can watch the game on Peacock. They are both 5-0 on the season, so someone's going to end up with a loss tonight. Kansas State leads the all-time series. They played a lot of games against each other, 129-94. Husker football is making their way to University Park, Pennsylvania tomorrow to face off Penn State, who has had a fun-filled season to say the least. The team is weary of the preparation they need for Penn State's run game as well as their rambunctious fan base.
That's ultimately what this is. It's a great challenge for us. We're a good football team and a good defense. We understand that we're going to have to do some things that, based on our current situation, to really stop the run and commit to stopping the run.
You know, I mean, people come here so they can play in these types of games, to play in these types of environments. I'm excited about it. I've never been there.
Kickoff will begin at 6 p.m. Central Time. You can watch the game on Fox Sports 1. Penn State is favored 9.5 to win the game. Nebraska is 7-3 on the season. Penn State 4-6. The all-time series is led by Nebraska. Coming up after the break, we take a look at the up-and-coming Thanksgiving holiday and another update on weather. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. The Huskers have to take on the Whiteout at Penn State tomorrow.
What will the weather look like? We turn to Jamison Nichols for our game day forecast in Happy Valley.
Weather isn't too different than what we're experiencing here. You previously heard me talk about the upcoming 7-day forecast with a lot of 30s, a lot of 40s, a lot of 50s. It's the same thing almost 1,500 miles away in Pennsylvania. You can see kickoff tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. and those temperatures will start in the 30-degree range, quickly warm up to the 40s, and hitting a climax of 48. 6 o'clock p.m., back in the 40s. Back to you.
Thanksgiving is just underway, a week away, and UNL students already are back for the break.
Our nightly reporters went out and spoke with a variety of students to share their Thanksgiving plans.
My family, we do a turkey bowl before we actually eat Thanksgiving dinner. So we play flag football with my entire family. We have our assigned teams. They've been the same since I was like 5. It gets really competitive.
Dad's side of the family, we do kind of like throw a party until like 4 in the morning though, so I guess that could be considered weird. But that's never like on Thanksgiving Day, it's normally a few days after.
Dinner with like the extended family, we always make the like party favors of like they're called like pickle wraps. It's like dried something, and then it's like cream cheese and a pickle, and then deviled eggs.
We don't do exactly a traditional Thanksgiving. Most of our Thanksgiving foods kind of tend to be like Mexican-oriented dishes because my family's all from Mexico. So we don't always do a turkey. Sometimes we do tamales instead.
Yeah, my grandma has a killer Swedish meatball. A meatball, but instead of like your normal sauce, it's kind of like a gravy. It's super good.
Every year my uncle brings a ham to Thanksgiving and no one eats it because there's a whole turkey. And every year my mom feels bad that no one ate his ham, so we always end up going home with like 2/3 of a ham, and it's always a little too salty.
We do not cancel class. I'm disappointed. I wanted the whole week off, but what can you do?
Thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly. Be sure to tune in to our next episode on Tuesday, December 2nd. We will not have a show next week due to Thanksgiving holiday.
Make sure to follow us on socials at Nebraska Nightly. We'll see you next time, and have a great weekend and a great Thanksgiving.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Such